In this video, we will walk through the process of running the Lakehouse Optimizer's Unity Catalog Migration Assessment. To provision and run the assessment, you will need to be an authorized user in the workspaces you want to assess. Those workspaces must have an attached metastore, and the workspaces will also need to be set up and provisioned in Lakehouse Optimizer by Lakehouse Optimizer admin. To run an assessment on a workspace, you do not have to be an admin in the Lakehouse Optimizer. But if you are, you can check on the Provisioning and Permissions page in Settings to see if everything is in place. If your workspace says Configuration Complete, then that workspace is fully provisioned in the Lakehouse Optimizer. Under Workspace Permissions, you will also see the item Unity Catalog. If there is a check next to that, it means the Lakehouse Optimizer has detected the attached metastore in this workspace. So this workspace is all good to go. We can access the assessment tool in the Lakehouse Optimizer by clicking the top icon on the left-hand side menu labeled Unity Catalog Migration. The Lakehouse Optimizer conveniently provides one location from which you can evaluate all your workspaces, but the assessment is run individually on each workspace, so start by selecting the workspace that you would like to run the assessment on first. If the assessment module has not been provisioned for the specific workspace, you will see the message LHO Unity Migration Module Not Provisioned, and see the Enable button above it. The assessment runs in the Lakehouse Optimizer and stores the results in the app's database, but some of the assessment features require access to a SQL warehouse in the workspace. The provisioning step is just setting up which SQL warehouse to utilize. Click Enable and you can either select a pre-existing warehouse you have access to in the workspace, or if you have the Databricks permissions, you can create a new SQL warehouse directly from this screen. For this demonstration, let's create a new SQL warehouse and call it My UCM. Select Serverless, and then select 2x small size. Note that if you're using a pre-existing warehouse, that Classic works just as well as Serverless, and any size warehouse will also be fine. But note that utilizing a larger SQL warehouse will not provide a noticeable difference in throughput. If successful, you should see a check next to LHO Unity Migration Module Enabled, and you can see the metastore information along with any last run information, though that will be empty if no assessment run has ever been performed on this workspace. Now we can go ahead and click the Run button. Note that each element of the report will populate as it becomes available, and you can view the progress of individual steps to see the breakdown of what is being worked on. The amount of time the assessment takes will vary. For this demo set we are running on for this tutorial, it will take about 15 minutes to analyze a couple hundred tables. However, if you have hundreds of thousands of tables, it will take hours or more likely days to fully run. When the run is complete, you will have a full Hive Metastore inventory for the workspace along with structured recommendations about what needs to be addressed to migrate this workspace to Unity Catalog and gauge the level of effort and investment that will be required to do so. To learn more about how to read and utilize the results of the Lakehouse Optimizer's Unity Catalog Migration Assessment, please click to the next video in this series. This concludes our walkthrough of the setup process. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact our support team at the link provided.